You deserved everything you got. This is a union city.
That is a Philadelphia tradition.
Seize the means of podcasting.
Oh, God, the boss has crushed us.
Let me tell you one thing else.
In oldie-timey times.
The pleasure of the flesh is in solidarity.
We will not raw dog reality for that one.
It's going to be wholly unprofessional.
The Scab Buster.
What have we become?
Eat together strong. Let that be your mantra.
Solidarity. Solidarity forever.
My name is Young Sam James. I'm the co-host of the Labor John podcast, where we talk about the workers. And my co-host extraordinaire is...
I'm Gabe Christie, and I'm continually concerned about your deteriorating mental state.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Are you going to eat that hot dog?
all of them. All of the hot dogs.
Gabe, I like hot dogs.
Okay.
How much butter do you put on your hot dog, buddy?
At least 2 pounds.
2 pounds of butter?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know they made 2 pounds of butter.
Yep.
Gabe, I'm learning so much already.
Yeah.
And today, before we even start, we want to thank everybody who came out for the Labor John Historian Song Workshop event, hootenanny thing that we did last week. We're recording this the Tuesday after that, and we just recovered, I think, physically and mentally from that event.
Yep.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
I had a great time, and we had a good crowd come out. Want to thank our brothers in arms who were up on stage with us, Mr. Shaky DeVille, Matt, who my bandmate, who came up for a couple songs talking about the Irish immigrants in England and the United States and their trials and tribulations. And our friend Bevan McShay came up to a song of his own, actually, which was fucking amazing. I told him I'm already stealing a song.
No, it was great.
And then event coordinator with the Philadelphia Folk School, Molly, came up and not only coordinated the whole event, but she came up and wowed the audience with her song about the Radium Girls. So
and kind of depressed them.
Yes,
it's par for the course.
Yes, but
So
it was a good event all around.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to more.
Yes.
This needs to be a weekly thing. This needs to be a hootenanny. This needs to be every single week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, and I don't know if you know this, Gabe. As I said, we're recording this the Tuesday after the event. It is currently November 22nd, 2022. And what happened on November 22nd, 2021 was the first episode of Labor John.
Wow.
Was released. We're at our 1-year anniversary. How do you feel?
I love you.
And today we're going to learn about... actually, we got one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you also to our Patreons. We're actually capitalists now. We started a Patreon so that we can support the show further, because we actually do spend money to fucking produce this shit, believe it or not. And so we want to thank our first patrons, or patrons, sponsors.
I'd like to give a special thank you to Halliburton. Your funding has made all of this possible.
And and also Halliburton, the $3 tier. Come on, buddy. You can afford at least the $5. Come on.
Yeah.
You get some good shit. And so once we're done shilling this shit, we'll get to the episode. But if you want to sponsor the program, God, this sounds like a PBS pledge week. This is horrible. But you get
a pledge of $3 will get you a tote bag. A pledge of $5 will get you a commemorative mug for the price of just 1 cup of coffee a day.
I gotta say that mug, I got one, and my cousin he pledged $10, and he got himself one of those tote mugs, and they hold liquid, not that well, but it looks great, and it's just the feeling of pledging $10, and it's not even the tote mug. It's just the pleasure you get from supporting your local podcast.
The real key is to get both the tote mug and the umbrella so that you can protect yourself from the liquid spilling out of the tote mug.
What you also do for our $20 a month pledge, you can just get the umbrella, and if you turn it upside down, it's a sort of mug.
I think we should get to the podcast.
And today, we are going to learn about...
The 1934 general textile strike in Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Hazleton.
Yep.
Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
So we've talked a little bit about the 1934 textile strike, but we were talking about the full-fashioned hosiery workers of Afua in Philly.
The Afua Silkies.
Yes. But Sam, did you know
I don't like it when you use my name.
there are cities outside of Philadelphia?
What do you mean?
The people live outside of the city limits.
How did they get outside the walls?
It was before the walls were built.
Oh.
In the good times.
Oh.
In the oldie timey times.
It's like Raccoon City.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before they just wall Philadelphia in. So yeah, there's a city called Hazleton.
Okay. I'm familiar with this city.
Yes. It's
My wife was born there.
Oh. Well,
That's not a joke. That's literally she was born there.
yeah.
I mean, it is a joke, and I feel bad for her, but I mean, it's still the truth.
I mean, there's some cool history in Hazleton, so she should be proud to be from Hazleton.
There's some cool history in Raccoon City as well.
Yes, there is. Hazleton might be slightly less fictional, hopefully. It's entirely possible that everything I read about this was wrong or made up.
I'm going with that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for that.
So, speaking of, most of the information for this is coming from an article in the winter 1996 issue of the Pennsylvania Magazine of History and Biography, written by Christopher M. Sterba. So if you want to fact check me, that's where I'm getting my information. So Hazleton is located up in Luzerne County, which I'm telling the listeners, not you.
Well, you're speaking towards me, so I'm
That's
responding. God damn, what an attitude. Now that we make a little bit of money, the other dark Gabe comes out. This always happens to capitalists.
It's true. Eventually we'll be at each other's throats.
I mean, you are wearing a sweater with your collar popped out of the top, so I mean,
It's true.
it was only a matter of time before this happened.
Yep.
I'm still in my wife beater. And the fact that I still call it a wife beater means I have not changed.
I will say I do like that you stayed in pajamas, but you switched out of your slippers into Chuck Taylors.
Into white Chuck Taylors.
Into white Chuck Taylors. It is a look.
They're actually knockoff Chuck Taylors.
I mean, they're close enough.
Hey, Chuck Taylor's like $120 now.
Yeah, I know.
For a fucking
It's a piece of canvas.
piece of
and rubber.
canvas. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's up in Luzerne County, up near Wilkes-Barre. It's like 80 miles northwest of Philly. It was a coal mining town. Kind of still is. But we'll talk about that
What does that mean?
in the future.
The ghosts are still mining coal up there?
Yes. But it was one of the few towns that wasn't a company town. So it wasn't just owned outright by the coal interests. So there were like some actual independent businesses that weren't just owned by the company. And not everyone was a coal miner. Only like 70% of the men were coal miners.
What did the rest do?
They worked in all of the other businesses.
They probably got picked on hard.
Yeah, probably. It was also a actually very ethnically diverse town. Because
we have both kind of white people, Irish and Italians.
So you say that. They have all 5 kinds of white people.
Ooh, okay, can I guess them?
Yep.
Irish. What year is this?
Starting in the 1880s into like the 19-teens.
Irish. I don't know if Swedish?
No.
Fuck it, Gabe. Just tell me. I'm not gonna play this game.
So there were Irish, Welsh, German, Lithuanian, Polish. I guess 6 types of white people. Or 7. Wow. Polish, Russian, and Slavic. All spread around. And basically they all made their own like little neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The Irish were there first. Well, The Irish were the first ones to immigrate.
Can you guarantee me that there were no Swedes there?
I cannot. There were probably Swedes there.
8. There's 8.
Yeah. They all worked in they all lived in their own little distinct neighborhoods. Yeah. And they kept mentioning they all had their own churches. Mm-hmm. So they had their own little enclaves. And then, but when they were in the mines, they all worked together. So yeah, it was nice, happy feelings.
Good old white people.
Yeah.
They always come together for the common good.
Yeah. It would be interesting to just listen to the conversations outside of the mines, like as everyone was just kind of like milling about before going down, because that's a bunch of very different languages. Mm-hmm. Because this is also 1880s Irish, so they were probably no, because Gaelic had been outlawed for a while then.
They didn't have Rosetta Stone back then, too.
No.
So it's like, what the fuck is happening in this world right now?
But Welsh was probably still spoken. German, Lithuanian, Polish, and Russian, and all the Slavic languages were. So, yeah, lots of people not understanding each other. So initially all the mines were like independently operated by small coal companies.
Family-owned coal mines.
Yes,
mom and pop coal mines.
Literally mom and pop coal mines. And then slowly they all got bought out by the Reading Anthracite, which was a subsidiary of the Reading Railroad.
Unchecked capitalism.
Yeah. So basically by the end of the 19th century, everything was just owned by Reading, at least around Hazleton. There were a couple other coal companies still operating in the Appalachians, but around Hazleton, it was all Reading. But because you had some independent companies in the town, the middle class started getting worried because they started to see the situation that led to the Molly Maguires back in the 1870s, where you had one giant coal company and everyone worked for them. And then everyone started blowing stuff up because they were pissed off. And there was also the 1897 Latimer Massacre, which happened at the Latimer mine just outside of Hazleton.
Is that when they didn't have enough ice cream for their ice cream social?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to get that checked.
Yep.
That was horrible. I don't think, we do some depressing episodes. I don't think we could do that one.
Yeah. It was bad. There was another Latimer Massacre, which was just 12 people getting shot. So we might just do that one instead. This is a little bit more cheery.
Shot with water guns?
Yes. Yep.
We need sponsors, so we need to dial down the violence and shit.
No, that's how you bring people in.
Do you ever notice, if you ever watch hockey, the amount of violence in hockey has decreased with the same amount of sponsorships that have been showing up on every inch of the fucking hockey rink?
Yeah.
It's strange how that works.
I will say, first hockey game I ever watched, I can't remember who was even playing now, but literally about 5 seconds after the game started, just massive fight broke out.
Yeah. And then the only advertisement you hear that night is, "This is sponsored by Coors."
Yeah.
Have a Coors.
Yep.
It actually helps with the blood.
Yep. Thins it out. Makes it easier to clean. But the middle class people started getting slightly concerned that stuff was going to start blowing up.
Oh God.
So they wanted to have a more diversified economy so that not everyone had to work in the mines.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of late 19th century progressivism.
All right.
Sort of. So they created a board of trade and started to lobby for other industries to come set up factories in Hazleton.
Okay.
This wasn't super uncommon in the region, but because Hazleton wasn't a company town, that made it easier. Then Hazleton was also really well positioned on the railroad because Reading Railroad had built a line to get all the coal out. So they could easily get goods to and from both New York and Philly. Mm-hmm. So they had like a little plan to go and market the town.
Sure.
They also were like offering a bunch of tax incentives, and we're offering.
You definitely know the middle class is involved now.
Oh God, yeah.
With this shit.
Yeah. And they were also being like, we'll pay for the materials to construct your factory.
Okay.
So they were going around and trying to get anyone to come and build there. The best way I can explain it is like when all of the cities were competing for the new Amazon headquarters, and everyone was like, we'll sacrifice our population on a giant pyre for you, Mr. Bezos. Come build here.
He's like, but I can do that myself.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the offer. Thank you.
Yes.
If you excuse me, I will shoot another phallus up into space.
And then come and thank my workers for it. So they were successful in getting Jean L. Duplan, who's is a French textile capitalist. So they brought another type of white person. They're trying to get the set. It's important.
Collect the whole set.
Yeah.
I just need one more Swede. I get a free coffee.
There you go. So he set up a silk factory, or a silk mill, I should say.
A Frenchman would set up a silk factory.
Yeah. It was very, very posh.
We make silk snails.
No. So they set up.
You know what the French Hillary Clinton said? You should escargot to the polls. I don't know why I started English there. I turned English.
I mean,
where the fuck that joke come from?
I like it. It could also be that like all of the films that I've ever watched that have French characters are just 1980s BBC films.
Yeah.
So my concept of a French accent is like a classically trained English actor being like, oh, ho, ho.
That's all the English are good for, by the way.
Yep.
It's just, oh, you have an English accent. You must be a foreigner in a movie.
Yeah. My favorite thing are World War II movies where all the the German officers all have English accents. It's the best part.
That's what Paul Trivet.
Weren't we trying to get sponsored?
Do what? Oh dear. I believe Adolf is off his medicine again.
Oh dear. Okay, so getting back on topic. By 1925, there were 5 separate silk mills in Hazleton, employing about 3,000 people. There were 7 shirt-making companies, employing another 2,000.
Jesus.
So the town had a total population of 32,000. So about 15% of the town's population worked in those 12 factories, and like 70 to 80% of these mills, of the workers in the mills were women. So that's like roughly 30% of the women in the town worked in these mills. And that's assuming that there was a 50-50 roughly ratio of men to women, which in a coal mining town there might not be, because a lot of the men are dying.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to find the rate or the actual breakdown of men versus women in Hazleton.
But once John the Frenchman came, the population boomed again.
Yes.
I make the silk stockings. Would you like a silk stocking, Sharon?
Oh.
How about we go to my bedroom?
You say that, but there was one moment that got described in the newspaper where Jean Duplan, because he did sort of like progressive capitalism of the turn of the century, where like he would have a school for the children who would then like go and work in his mill.
Don't you miss those
12.
capitalists?
Yeah. But there was apparently a scene, or there was one moment where he had like all of the town children around him. So there's a possibility that like half of them were his. But he considered all of them his because they were his workers.
You are all my children.
No. The small hands, they're good for working in the machines.
Yes.
So, okay. It's also important to note most of the women working in the factories were younger wives and daughters, and most of their husbands and fathers were all mine workers. Which then brings up the United Mine Workers of America.
The United Mine Workers of America. Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Hey.
UMWA. UMWA. So initially, UMWA was kind of hesitant to start organizing immigrant workers. But by the turn of the 20th century, John Mitchell, who was their president, had kind of coined the term that the coal you dig is not Slavish or Polish or Irish, it's coal.
I like it.
Yeah. But basically, they were willing to go out and organize all of these other types of white people.
Yeah.
By the 1920s, by the end of the 20s, going into the 30s, all of the mines around Hazleton were a closed shop. So you had to be a member of the union to get in. There had been a number of mining strikes from the turn of the century up until the 30s. And this is also where like the immigrant communities kind of came in, because what would end up happening is if you broke the strike, or if you were thinking about breaking the strike, or you weren't showing enough solidarity, you got, you could potentially lose your union card, so you couldn't work anymore. You got shunned by all of the miners, and all of the immigrant community organizations would kick you out.
You would also find yourself at the wrong end of a mine shaft, too.
Yeah, probably. So, if you like survived the beating that you were going to get, then you would also just get ostracized by the whole community. So that like you'd get kicked out of church, you wouldn't be allowed to go to the bar anymore, and you'd just be a social pariah.
Wait a minute, didn't this tunnel have an exit a second ago?
You know, I thought about that. Yeah, so the basically there was a really strong sense of solidarity among everyone. And it was very strictly enforced. Which, I mean, proved effective. They were able to organize the mines pretty well. So, this had two important impacts on the textile strike in Hazleton, which we are eventually going to get to the actual topic of this episode.
I thought we were talking about the mines.
Nope. So
do I have to restrict your backstories for these?
But this was all actually important. So, because the...
this seems literally like any sitcom where there's 20 minutes of setup, 5 minutes of commercials, and then 5 minutes of payoff.
Yeah.
I think literally what this feels like.
That's basically it. Okay, so all of the women who were working in these shirt and silk mills, even though they themselves weren't unionized yet, they all grew up in union families or knew people who were in a union.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a foreign concept to them. And also they saw that like the entire community will come down on you hard if you break rank.
And if you have someone in your life who was a member of a union family, they will tell you that they were a member of a union family.
Yes. So while the Board of Trade and Chamber of Commerce were out getting Jean-Noël Duplan to come in, the workers in all of the like smaller independent factories and companies and everything in the town started to organize. and they set up the Hazleton Central Trades Union in 1901. They would kind of operated, it was kind of basically like an AFL-CIO. So a bunch of different unions coming together. They were mostly trades and crafts unions, basically all organized with the AFL. Specifically, because they called this out every freaking time they mentioned it, there were bakers, printers, barbers, carpenters, drivers who were teamsters, and a variety of other skilled and semi-skilled trades.
Okay.
So they did dabble in some industrial organizing. Because there was a drive to organize 2,000 shirt factory workers in 1933. Which doesn't really seem to have gone anywhere, but they were starting to push for it and like test the boundaries of what they could do in the bigger factories.
There was a lot of shirt production back then.
Yeah. The turn of the 20th century kind of saw the beginning of fast fashion in that way. Like, you started to see a lot more just buying stuff off the rack fairly cheap, and then replacing it as styles changed. It wasn't as bad as it is now, but it wasn't great.
And the fast part of that is the change of these styles, or the...
Yes.
Okay, or like the changing of the workers in the factory who make these shirts.
Probably both.
Okay.
Okay, so there were actually a couple strikes in the silk mills in Hazleton. First was in 1903, then again in 1933. Neither were successful, but they were...
Silky smooth.
Not quite.
Oh,
they were pretty violent. So usually they would bring in scabs, and the strikers would pretty violently attack them.
Oh my god!
And then get chased off by the police.
Putting bars of soap and silk stock and just beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, probably. But the 1933 strike was basically a training opportunity for all of the women that were involved.
Okay.
Because they got to that was, for their generation, that was kind of the first big strike that they would be involved in. And they got to see how things work, figure out what they need to do. So
all right, obviously we have not beaten the scabs hard enough.
Yes.
So next time, guys.
Yeah.
Next time, girls. All right.
And so one of the issues they ran into was that Jean-Paul Duplan and all of his little children had a very paternalistic approach to the factory, in that he ran it as a school / factory / daycare, weirdly. So there was a gymnasium for the girls' gymnasium, a recreation field. The conditions weren't terrible. He made a point of the entire interior being painted bright white, and everything had to be scrubbed perfectly clean 24/7. But that was mostly in the 1920s that he was doing that, because then when the economy crashed in the 1930s, a lot of that started to disappear really quickly.
Oh dear.
Because it costs money.
Oh dear. Me. And me without a silk stocking to wear.
Oh dear.
Me and my wonderful French accent. I gave up the French accent.
Could do the accent from Allo Allo.
Hello, hello.
An Englishman purposefully doing a bad French accent.
I never even know what you're talking about, but thank you for
You've
doing
never
it.
seen Allo
Thank you.
Allo?
Allo, allo?
Allo Allo?
No.
You need to watch it. It's BBC
Wow.
show about a French cafe owner during World War II who accidentally gets involved with the resistance and while having affairs with literally every single woman in town. It's an absolutely fantastic show. And every single actor is, of course, English. So you have BBC actors doing terrible French accents, terrible German accents, and terrible Italian accents. Because
no.
there's one Italian officer. It's great. So by 1933, two things had changed. First, they had the National Recovery Act, which was supposed to ensure decent wages and kind of quell labor disputes. So that got embraced by the middle class in Hazleton, who basically wanted to prevent a massive riot. I'm an idiot. I missed something. In 1930, Duplan laid off hundreds of its workers between January and November. So, basically,
just giving them a holiday.
Yes,
An extended holiday.
So, and not only did they lay them off, but they sped up the rate of production. So you had fewer workers making more clothes.
Oh, laid off. I thought we were getting laid.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
So the workers went on strike and formed a local of the United Textile Workers. But after a very violent couple of weeks of picketing, the union was broken and things kind of quieted back down. So then fast forward to 33, National Recovery Act, middle class embraced it because they didn't want 1930 to happen again. But a new union, the American Federation of Silk Workers, had come on the scene, and they had started organizing most of the smaller silk mills into Local 1937, which was really freaking confusing because 1937 to me is a date.
Yeah.
So they kept saying 1937 did something.
Oh,
and I'm like, but that's a year. It had confused the hell out of me. And I would like to have a word with the ghosts of the founders of the American Federation of Silk Workers, because that was annoying.
We'll get them in on an interview for next week. Baby.
Yeah.
That'll be a Patreon exclusive. We talk to the fucking ghosts.
Have a seance to talk to the labor past. We need to do
a Ouija board.
Well, for Christmas, we need to talk to the ghosts of labor past.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, we need a Ouija board. Okay, so in September of 1933, Local 1937 went on strike.
Sorry, I'm confused.
I know.
What year is this?
Local 1937.
Okay.
I'll do that. Went on strike in protest of the wage rates set by the National Recovery Act. This was an industry-wide strike, but in Hazleton, they only had one goal, and that was to organize Duplan.
There's a lot of French Americans in Hazleton right now.
But all of the folks at the smaller shops knew that so long as Duplan remained unorganized or remained an open shop, that they were never going to really win strikes at any of the smaller ones. So when they went on strike, instead of picketing in front of their mills, they went and picketed in front of Duplan.
Interesting.
And tried to shut that place down. And so they basically show up every shift change, and both try and prevent workers from getting into the plant and tell everyone coming out of the shift to just come and join the picket line. Yeah. They would also alternatively just throw rocks at people breaking the strike. So picketing intensified to the point where the mayor of Hazleton, R. Alvin Bizel, banned it on September 27th.
What? Arvin?
R. Alvin Bizel.
Alvin Bizel.
Banned picketing on September 27th, hoping that would end the uprising and all of the unrest. That didn't work at all. Because what happened instead was a group of UMW and AFSW, so UMWA and pickets.
1937.
Yeah, 1937. Formed around the entrance of the Duplan plant. That's a hard word.
The Duplant.
The Duplant.
It's the Duplant.
The Duplant. So they were trying to target the 10 p.m. shift change and prevent a new shift from coming into the plant.
Damn, we're going after the graveyard shift?
Yeah.
Don't they suffer enough?
I mean, they could also join the strike. So there's that.
Wow, Gabe. Wow.
I'm not that middle class. Basically, they were just trying to shut the plant down or organize it, whichever happened first. So the pickets started throwing rocks at the mill's windows. Then as the crowd grew, and it grew really freaking quickly to around 5,000 people, the police tried and failed to disperse them.
Wait a minute, didn't we ban this?
Yeah, it didn't work. So the women of the outgoing shift were held in the factory to protect them from the strikers. Eventually, state police were called in.
Oh, that'll win them over.
Yeah. Were called in to use clubs and beat back the pickets. While all of this was going on, the pickets were all singing and chanting. And supposedly, this was so that a couple guys from... It wasn't clear if they were UMW or silk workers, but they ran around and let all of the air out of the tires in the parking lot.
Okay.
So that the outgoing shift couldn't get home. It's a little dickish. So 5 days later, the Duplan... So, I mean, on one hand, it was very violent. Probably didn't endear too many people to their cause, but it was effective. Because 5 days later, Duplan management was willing to have a meeting with Michael Hartnedy, who is the local UMW president, or the president of the UMW local. He was the business agent for the UMW local, not the president. So he met with Michael Hartnedy, and then also the city solicitor, John Bigelow.
These days.
Yep. So John Bigelow, who used to be Duplan's legal counsel in Pennsylvania. So that was great that he left working for the company to go be the city solicitor to go and regulate the company.
Nothing changes.
Yeah. So they were serving as the National Industrial Relief Agency's mediation board. And the next day, they agreed that they wouldn't object to the formation of a union. So the Duplan management was saying, we'll allow a union to come in.
Okay. I mean, they did come in.
Yeah.
I mean,
they threw rocks.
Literally.
Well, they didn't. Their rocks did.
They're good old union rocks, though.
Yes. So then, so they agreed to let Hartnedy represent the Textile Workers Union and give a speech to the workers at Duplan. After this, the 1,000 workers in attendance voted unanimously to form Local 2033 of the Textile Workers Union.
2033?
Yep. So by October 23rd, they had elected a slate of officers, and the 1933 strike was basically successful. That they won a union. It was a year late and took some pretty violent striking by another union, but it worked. So they had organized a plan, and the smaller mills agreed to recognize their unions as well.
But, God damn it, we never end on a high note.
Oh, no.
Never end on a high note.
I'm only 67% done.
Fuck you.
Yeah. There's still a whole other third to this. So Duplan's management basically took over the union immediately and set it up as a business union.
Okay.
basically that, like, they wouldn't actually fight for anything. They would just be like, yeah, well, you can have a union meeting. Sure. They literally held their union meetings in the cafeteria in the factory.
Oh, okay.
So totally neutral ground.
Yeah.
No surveillance there.
You're not be listened in on.
Yeah.
Why is the Pinkerton agency here on their lunch break?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the officers that they elected had been arrested in the 1933 strike, or had been arrested previously for punching a striking miner on the picket line. And its president was a known company loyalist. So by 1934, it wasn't too much better. Okay, so now September 1934, Textile Workers Union declared a general strike of all textile workers, demanding union recognition across the board and industry-wide wage rates. So basically, they wanted to have a standardized wage system across the whole country.
Sure. Okay.
And this strike went from like the deep south all the way up to New England. Hazleton was just a small part of it. But the strike came to Hazleton on September 4th when workers from Local 1937 walked off the job. Local 1848 walked off the next day. 1937 were silk factory workers. 1848 were shirt factory.
Okay.
But Local 2033, which was Duplan, did not join the strike, despite voting to join the strike 169 to 70. So the membership wanted to, but the leadership decided, let's not.
Oh, okay.
Which was
That's
interesting.
Nice. How that works like that.
So also, that's a sign of how weak the union was after just 1 year, that they went from 1,000 people unanimously voting to organize to 169 voting to strike. So, yeah, they lost
where's everybody?
80% of, they still had fairly full membership from my understanding, but clearly their militant membership had gone down a lot. So by the end of the week of September...
I mean, it's voters in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't wrong.
We voted Trump out.
Yeah.
Everything's good now, guys.
Let's go home.
Yeah, let's all go home.
So by the end of the week, there were 5 plants on strike. 5 plants were idled, which basically meant that the company was willing to like shut down, that they weren't going to fight it. And 6 plants were still operating. So the strikers started using what was known as flying squadrons. Basically, they applied military tactics to picket lines. And they would quickly move in either by like car or bus or van or truck and suddenly set up picket lines anywhere.
Yeah. I wonder if they were influenced by the Irish flying squadrons.
I mean, probably, considering this was Molly Maguire territory. And a lot of these people probably were descended from the Maguire, or from, well, at least the Irish 7th of the people in Hazleton. But that made it a lot more difficult for any of the companies to prepare for them. So they were able to avoid having a line of cops there when they showed up. And it meant that the strikers from Hazleton could also suddenly show up at Wilkes-Barre or vice versa. So even if you only had like 5,000 people on strike in Hazleton, you could have a 10,000 person picket line.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
I like this little guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. No, it was cool. And I should also note, most of the pickets were all like young women in their late teens and early 20s, which, especially in the 30s, must have been kind of fucking badass to see. Just like a bunch of women jumping out of cars and trucks, and then all of a sudden there's a picket line. So then the UMWA also pledged support to all the striking textile workers because it was like basically that was everybody's wives and daughters.
Yeah.
So they're going to go support them. So each individual UMWA local put out their own statement of support, and that usually included some kind of punishment for having a UMW member assist in the breaking of a picket line. So
this is why I brought up the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Hot poker time.
Ooh. Not quite that bad, but not much better. So the initial one was you'd get a monetary fine, then you might get like or it'd be kind of a sliding scale of how much you would get fined. The local in Hazleton said that you would be barred from UMW membership for 99 years.
Damn.
Which basically meant you could never work in a mine again.
Jesus Christ. The fact that it was 99 years meant they we mean this.
Yeah.
It's 99 years.
Yes. We're being nice because it's not 100. So this was actually pretty effective. And soon after the strike was called, other unions within the Central Labor Union started to discuss the possibility of a general strike. So
I remember about an hour ago when you said the episode was called The General Strike.
I said the General Textile Strike.
Oh, fuck.
So this almost broke the Central Labor Union because a lot of the more conservative AFL unions, especially the ones who had to deliver perishable goods.
Perishable guilt?
Yeah. It's guilt that slowly fades away.
It's
the best kind of guilt.
That's what you get at church.
Yeah.
The body of Christ, just a perishable guilt.
Yeah, so the ones who had to deliver perishable goods, mostly the bakers and milkmen.
The milkman.
The milkman.
That's what they called me. I deliver the milk. Creamy goodness.
Ooh. So they were worried about the impact a general strike would have on the town, because basically they didn't want all of the milk and bread to go bad. Which is really kind of fair.
Yeah.
You could also just deliver it and not charge people for it.
Sure.
And
well,
that would still work.
Yeah.
But then it gets in, you could do that, and if you win the strike, you'd get away with it, but if you lost the strike, you'd get arrested for theft. So you have to weigh your options there. But in order to prevent the CLU from splitting over this issue, they decided they would do a labor holiday. So they basically wanted to do a massive parade and have everyone take a day off to go and be in the parade.
Okay.
So rather than doing a general strike, they were going to do effectively a one-day general strike
parade
with a big parade.
Okay. To the organizers, if everybody goes on strike and then everybody goes on the parade, there will be nobody to watch the parade, by the way.
It's true.
So
there's all of the children, because Mr. Duplan is back in France.
Okay.
So they're free.
Them over?
Yeah, they're free to come and do whatever they want. So they get to watch the parade. Alternatively, if you're in the front of the parade, once it's done, then you just go and watch the rest of the parade come by.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I will give all your wives Labor Days.
Oh.
It will be 9 months from now. Fuck it, have a parade, I don't care.
Okay, so literally every single union in the city showed up, The bread, beer, and milk deliveries were made either very late the day before or the night before, or very early in the morning. And then, like, everyone, basically the entire town, marched down Main Street, or Broad Street. They had a drum and bugle corps. The local football team was there. And they also had the VFW marching through.
And the Shriners in their little cars.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But basically they were trying to make a statement that, like, Hazleton's a union town.
Yeah.
Stop fucking with it. After the general strike, or after the labor holiday, that have to be very clear that it wasn't a general strike, despite the fact that everyone didn't work for a day. So after that, the Dew plant shut down, and said that they would halt operations until Monday.
Okay.
So they did actually kind of succeed there. And management was like, they're starting to throw out bones to just be like, hey, we're kind of going to cooperate here. Don't destroy us.
Mm-hmm.
But the day after the parade, a flying squadron on buses and in private cars left for Scranton, and picketed some of the textile plants up there. After that, they went to the Empire Silk plant outside of Wilkes-Barre, and they did their usual thing of showing up out of nowhere, throwing up a picket line, and then throwing rocks at the plant to disrupt production, and to show their anger with the strike-breaking workers. So the local police in Wilkes-Barre didn't respond at all, despite the fact that the plant managers kept calling them.
Jesus.
So the police claimed that it was because they didn't have the staff available. It's actually probably likely that the police were sympathetic to the strikers.
What?
So the police had just started forming their own union.
Oh no.
So.
Oh no.
But.
Oh no.
This was like probably the 10-day period where they had some semblance of solidarity with other unions.
For the first and last time.
Yes.
Ever.
So they had a smattering of class consciousness and weren't willing to go break the strike. So
it was a beautiful 10 days.
Yeah. Hesitant support for that. For the Wilkes-Barre police there. But because they weren't...
Blue Lives Matter for 10 days.
Yes. This very specific group. In this very specific time period. Okay, so because the police weren't there to help him, a superintendent from the plant named Adolf Rieger...
I'm not going to touch that.
Nope. Came outside with a shotgun and said he'd shoot anyone who approached the plant. The strikers all responded by chucking rocks at him. He ran back inside and then called the state police, who came in and chased all the pickets out of town. So battles like that continued for the whole rest of the strike, where flying squadrons would show up literally anywhere. And all of a sudden you could just have 1,000 people outside of the plant, chucking rocks at it. And it was fairly effective. They shut down plants fairly often.
If you have 1,000 people throwing rocks at you.
Yeah, you're probably going to stop working there.
Yeah.
So, and then they'd do that for as long as they could, and then the state police would come and chase them out. And that was just kind of how it went. They also started picketing the homes of bosses. They would picket in front of the homes of strike breakers and basically anyone who they kind of deemed a class traitor.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was getting fucking real.
And I still live in France. Who has the last laugh now?
It was probably a little bit too expensive to do a flying picket to Paris. That's a lot of overseas fare there.
Well, they are a flying squadron.
True. I mean, they should have just fucking flown to Paris.
Yeah, they could have done that.
September 22nd, 1934, the United Textile Workers Leadership called the strike off and claimed they had won.
Okay.
Which...
The use of the word claimed.
Yeah. Outside of Hazleton, they were not nearly as effective.
Okay.
So they did organize a lot of mills, but they didn't really win a lot of their demands. So they weren't... It's debatable as to whether or not it was actually a successful strike. But in Hazleton, it was.
Okay.
So all of the violent clashes and flying columns and all of that, the Duplan Mill, which was Local 2033, had internal elections and kicked out all of the company men in the local's leadership. Okay. So they basically won back their union.
Yeah.
Then instead they elected a really radical group of organizers led by Tom Poniatowski, who was one of the major proponents of a general strike in the city. So he was now their president.
Okay.
The new militant leadership at Duplan, basically the moment the strike was finished, filed a bunch of unfair labor practice grievances against Duplan, demanded the reinstatement of 70 union activists who had been fired during the strike. Then the company actually lost that legal battle, and all but 7 men and women were brought back in.
Huh, okay.
So some of these activists, when they got back to work, received handwritten threats from the company.
Oh.
Basically being like, we know where you live, we're going to fucking mess you up. So, but...
we know you know where we live, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you sign our paychecks.
Yeah, you mail our paycheck to us. So, yeah, so...
that's what I would have said. It's like, oh, good, you know where I live? All right, that's where you can send the paycheck, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then they murder your whole family.
Yeah.
Except the children, they are mine.
But then the next day, 20,000 textile workers show up out of the blue and start throwing rocks at the mill.
Exactly.
So, as you do. When they got back,
and the cops come around. What does solidarity mean? We're just flowing this.
Yeah, there was one guy who said something about class, but I think I was out of school that day. Yeah. So then the 63 workers that were brought back continued being very militant and very active, and actually started making some wins.
Yeah, good.
Because honestly, Duplan was kind of probably fucking scared because they had seen that the entire town was willing to come out to fuck them up.
Yeah.
So then after the 1934 general textile strike, the textile workers in Hazleton basically had managed to secure a closed shop across the city.
Okay.
So every textile mill was organized. You had to be either an AFSW or an FSW or a TWU, so a TWU. Yeah, so basically they effectively won their goal of the actual 1934 general textile strike failed, but in Hazleton they won,
which is all we care about, because that's what the episode's titled.
Yep. And that was kind of the only major mill city around Philly that fought. So
that's great.
It was cool.
Yeah. And one great thing that came out of this was the start of the National Police Union. So
it's a great thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was the Hazleton in the 1934 textile strike.
Yep.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else.
We are all Duplan children now.
Yes, we are. Hey, this is Gabe, and thanks for listening to the Labor John podcast. So for now, we live in a system called capitalism. And under this system, you have to exchange currency for goods and or services. And to that end, Sam and I put a lot of time, effort, and a fair chunk of our own money into keeping this podcast available and generally free. And if you'd like to help support us doing that, you can give us some money at patreon.com/LaborJohn. And if you choose to do so, we'll give you a fancy button every year, some cool merch, and an extra episode once a month, whenever possible, because life is hard, because capitalism. Anyway, we'd really appreciate your support if you've got a few bucks to spare. Also, if you happen to be a member of a union, and you want your fellow union members to learn about local labor history, we do commission work, like presentations, pamphlets, that kind of stuff. So if that sounds cool, you can shoot us an email at laborjohn@gmail.com or contact us through laborjohn.com or message us on social media or whatever's most convenient for you. But if that sounds interesting, feel free to reach out. And anyway, thanks for listening. Solidarity. Have fun.